So my name is Eric, also known as Dids. I'm the CCO of the Misfits group. As you can see, he's representing well in the chat right now. I kind of oversee all of the creative decisions that go on with the Misfits. Bremen and I work really closely together to make sure that all of our projects are on time, shot well. We have shot lists, just organizing where, when, how, what, why. And as well as I get to film, which is really the fun, the really good fun stuff.
For that. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Yo, hit the like button and the heart button if you guys can hear us okay, because we do hear a lot of noise.
And there's a sound check happening behind you, so. Sound
check happening. The air show is here, so it's going to be a lot of, it might be a lot of noise, but we got kicked out the mall for trying to make this happen, so we still going to make it happen.
Literally kicked out the mall. So we went outside.
Literally, yeah, but what's going on, y'all? So, let them know, before you go any further, let them know, what is Misfits?
So Misfits is a visual storytelling, influencer marketing, while still being the influencers group. We like to have a platform that a brand, a person, a business can come to, and we can bring them on our platform and excel them and help them reach our generation of people. So if they're struggling to reach our age group, they can come to us. We can make some awesome content for them, and we can push that out, and they can get seen within this age group.
That's dope. That's dope. That's really dope. Shout out to you guys again, because you had your launch just yesterday at
Uglies. If you did
miss
a launch party, stay tuned. There's a lot more fun events on the horizon very soon.
Yeah, it was real dope. It was real dope. I'm telling you, it was a lot of love in the atmosphere, a lot of energy. It was just, man, it was going down.
That was the best part, is the amount of people that didn't know other people, but yet I was looking around and I never saw somebody alone.
Yeah.
The entire night. Never once. Unless they were like going to get a drink or going to the bathroom. I never saw somebody alone. And that made me happy. So happy.
Yeah. It was amazing. I'm telling you. I mean, I just so happened to run into some people that I haven't seen in years, literally. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, what's going on? And they like, hey, I just came out, you know. I'm like, well, let me introduce you to the people that I know, you know. And they're like, okay, well, cool, you know. So it was a bunch of love, and it was amazing. And like I told you guys yesterday, like, I'm just excited to see where you're going with it.
Absolutely.
It's definitely necessary. I believe we need more and more businesses to help other businesses, you know what I mean, become what you know, what they can be at the end of the day.
How are you guys doing in the chat? How's your day? It's beautiful outside. We're enjoying it.
Yes.
And getting kicked out everywhere else, so we're kind of forced to come outside. But that's okay. It's beautiful out here, so that's what we'll do.
For sure. Listen, if my arms were long enough, I would hit the wave button for everybody that's tuning in.
Mine aren't either, so you're all right.
So, you know, but as long as you guys can hear us, yo, give us some hearts, give us some like buttons, and hit that share button. So at what point was it that you decided to brand yourself?
I decided to brand myself when I was on in between YouTube and Twitch. So like 6-ish, 8-ish years ago, I started making YouTube videos. I'm like, I'm gonna be this big YouTuber and have all this fun, all this fame, all this success. But that was when I was so naive and so not ready for it. I'm glad it didn't happen.
Right.
You won't hear a lot of people say that they're glad that they didn't get famous when they wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I really said, okay, what do I need to do to build myself? And it was very much what can I do to not only improve myself, but improve the people around me. And I created my brand at that point when I was live streaming on Twitch, because I wasn't good at video games, so I had to have something else that people would come and watch. So I wanted to be a good brand, and I think that's, even today, especially on Twitch and esports platforms in general, is a very hard thing for a lot of people to do, because they're like, I just want to be this great player, I just want to be this, but they don't think about being the great brand, they don't think about being the great person, they don't think about any of that. So I think that's when I really got started and started to think, how can I brand myself, and what can I do to make myself appealing to brands, businesses, other streamers, other people that watch content, and how can I leverage that to my own advantage?
Yeah. I love that, because in a nutshell, you're just saying, like, you kind of tried something in the beginning and it didn't work, so you tried something else, you know what I mean? And I believe that that's what entrepreneurship is all about, you know, trial and error. And it's funny, because if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're not, you know, familiar with how businesses work, you may look at that as a fail. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
You may look at it like, okay, this person isn't being consistent. No, it's all a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you really want to make it, you're going to try things. You're going to try new things. And when it doesn't work, what you're going to do is get back up and try again.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That doesn't mean if I got to switch it up here, then I got to switch it up here. If I got to try this, then I'm going to try that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, I think it's incredible, because the word is evolve. You know what I'm saying? You're going to evolve into what you're meant to be at the end of the day. So, since you've been along your journey, like, what would you say has been the best part?
The best part's been creating content. I've always thought my passion, everything would become within content creation. I didn't necessarily know always how that would become. I didn't know what steps I would need to take, but I always knew that would be where I would be. So the funnest part for me has been just trying different things. I've never been complacent doing the same thing consistently, and that's goes into the Misfits, is that we're never doing the same. Like, we're always creating video, but it's never the same video.
Right.
Every brand, every business that comes to us has a different need.
Right.
And we're able to meet those needs in different ways every time.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's amazing, because as creators, we don't stay in a box.
No,
you know what I mean?
Can't.
We can do whatever we want to, whenever we want to, and the only way it's going to stop is if you literally come tell us that we can't do it.
Yes.
And we might still do it.
We're still doing this.
That's just how the game goes, and it's so fun being that way. You know what I mean? To know that no one can just label you, or you know what I mean? Like, you can just do whatever you want to, and the way that you guys create content, it's so eye-catching. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It draws us in.
We appreciate hearing that, because that's, we know that you have like 3.9-ish seconds on average to get the viewer's attention. So our first shot, they always say your first shot is your best shot.
Yeah.
And that's hard, because then you're like, well, then what do I do with the other shots that maybe aren't as good? But then that's when you get back and you dive into how can I transition, how can I then make the mood work, and then there's so many different aspects to make that happen. That you can supplement your good shots with your bad and put different things different places.
Yep. As you guys are tuning in, hey, y'all, make sure to hit the like button, hit the love button, hit the share button. Here's the airplanes I was talking about.
We got it all. We got it all.
We have got it all, but make sure you guys still show us some love, especially if you cannot hear us. Let us know that you cannot hear us, if that is the case. Hey, go ahead. I'm gonna let him share it. I want to thank y'all. Hey, thanks for showing that love. What's that? That's Lori. What's going on, Lori? Hey, y'all. I see Jay tuned in. I'm trying to see who that is, y'all.
Welcome,
is that
everybody.
Miss Patrice? Whoever it is, y'all. Thank y'all for showing so much love. I can't see who it is, but I appreciate it. Y'all keep hitting the like button.
Share.
You shared it?
Shared it.
Shared it. It's shared.
Done.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the next question. You just got done letting me know what your best part was. So in contrast, what would you say has been like a hurdle, your biggest hurdle, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest hurdle for me has probably been seeing other people succeed without. I'm not. That sense.
Keep going. I'm listening.
Seeing other people succeed without respecting the work that goes into it.
I love that.
There are so many times that I've gotten questions like, "Hey, can you connect me with this person? Hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do that for me?" And it's never a "How can I help you?" Every time I approach somebody, even. The party theoretically was a Misfits party last night, but I ended and began every conversation with, how can I help you?
Yes.
And what can I do for you? Because it's not about what you can do for me as much as what I can do for you.
Yes.
Because that's where you learn.
Yes.
When you're not being fed, but you're doing the feeding.
Yes.
Because that's how you get to grow, and that's how you find out what fits and what doesn't fit, and who's the right people to be around. And there's so many things, but so many times I get people that are just like, especially in photography, they'll take a picture and they'll tag me in, and they'll be like, all right, now I'm gonna be this so-and-so photographer, and it's like, well, your picture's out of focus, your composition's not, there's so many things, and I give a polite, probably more polite than even I need to be for that situation, feedback, and then they get all frustrated. It's like, okay, so maybe this wasn't your best shot, what can you do to improve next time? Right. And they don't get that. So that probably has been the most frustrating.
Yeah, I definitely understand. The reason why I made that noise when because I could hear where you were going, and I love it because, man, when you're not in the place that you may want to be, and you see someone else that may be in a place where you want to be, it's so many different ways that you can look at that situation, but because you're not in that place, you observe a lot from that person as well. You know what I'm saying? You observe how they treat you.
Yeah.
You observe how, how they treat others. You observe, how they take in that spotlight. And I think that I love that. I love that because that just makes it imperative for you to stay grounded and for you to know what to do when you're in that position.
Absolutely.
Because, to be quite honest, some people will literally treat you like shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people will literally act like you're this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once I get this big, then you're going to come to me and you're going to want to collaborate and whatnot. But when I was, didn't have, 2 million views and all of this extra stuff, you felt some type of way, or you treated me like I was less than.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think coachability is a great way to put it. You have to be coachable, and I think there's so many people, especially at a younger age now, even younger than me, that don't know how to become coachable.
Yes.
And you can become coachable.
Yeah.
I think that you can make that transition, but so many people want to jump from A to C without going through B.
Yeah.
And like, I get it, everybody wants to reach the end point, but once, in my opinion, there is no end point, because
Right.
I'm never going to stop learning.
Exactly.
And I'm okay
Exactly.
failing, I'm okay not doing
Yeah.
the best job today, because I know that I'm going to do a better job tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that I love. That's why I love content, because it's always going to evolve, and as I evolve, and as the quote-unquote meta evolves of content, so will I with
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
And it'll always change.
Yeah, coachability and constructive criticism.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Constructive criticism.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you point out something positive and then give feedback. So many people want to give feedback. So many people want to, you know what I'm saying, just shoot you down. Oh, this wasn't right. That wasn't right. This wasn't right. I believe that, you know, whether you're in the position of being coached or you're the one coaching, you have to know how to talk to people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to know how to make sure that they can tell that it's coming from a genuine spot. It's coming from a good place, you know, and you're not coming off like an asshole.
And when I'm giving that feedback, I'm not trying to shit on your life.
Right.
I'm just
Right.
trying to help you
Right.
so that when you take the next photo or whatever, you can improve. If you don't want to take that advice, that's not my problem.
sure.
If you can't succeed based on my advice, not to say that mine's always right, but maybe it's at least something to get your mind thinking in a different direction.
Yeah.
That's not my problem if
Yeah.
you can't take that.
For sure. It's not. It's definitely not. It's not at all. It's not at all. I love that. Yeah, that's necessary. If you want to be successful, you got to be willing to learn from other people, man, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, constructive criticism is always, but sometimes when someone does say something that you come off and you feel like, oh man, they hating, you can turn that negative into a positive at the same time.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Next question is, if it's somebody out there right now, they're hesitant to following their dreams, they're hesitant to doing what they really want to do, tapping into their purpose or whatever it is, or maybe they're miserable with their current lifestyle, what type of advice would you give them?
So I'm going to cue this one up. Not cue it up for something. Just cue it up.
Just cue.
Just get started. You know, he came to me and said, just get started. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. But, you know, the way I can exemplify that is in my 6 to 8 years of content creation, I knew that maybe where I currently was, like streaming on Twitch, there got to be a point where I learned how to accept that wouldn't be my future. But at the same time, I still use that time to grow.
Yeah.
And learn how to be more comfortable in front of a camera and learn how to advance myself creatively. And okay, maybe my stream layout can look more appealing, or maybe I can learn how to better engage with people and better create conversations and, you know, maybe even take this time to learn how affiliate sales works. I had some sponsors that I had affiliate codes with, and maybe I can learn the right way to sell and the wrong way to sell. You know, I had a time where everything that I did and every post that I did somehow was related to a sponsor, whether it was a piece of clothing that I had from a sponsor, whether it was a drink that I had from a sponsor, and then I lost credibility. So then I had to backtrack. Okay, now I've got to do more about me, and then I gained that credibility back, and then I was able to combine the two and make something that then became very fruitful financially.
Yeah. I think that
you too, man. You too.
Right. I think it's so important for us to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just taking the journey for what it is and fixing those kinks.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
100%.
That's all it is. Just keep going no matter what it is. So I got 2 more questions for you. First question is, if it's one person or organization out there, you know what I mean, that you haven't had the opportunity to collaborate with, who would it be?
So this one, she gave me all the questions beforehand. This is one I really struggled with because I wanted to give a good answer, but I didn't want to give a cliche answer. But I think I've come to accept that this is just something that I really want to do. I want to collaborate with Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay.
In the sense of...
Shout out, Gary!
In the sense of, I think that I'm a go-getter, and I think that I hustle, and I think that I do that. But I think just even meeting someone like that will put a whole different perspective of like, man, I am not up to par with what really needs to happen. And I think that just sitting down and rapping with him. Now, creatively, I take Sam Colder, who you may or may not know, is a huge inspiration creatively, because he just makes content that just... You can have sound on it, and it'll still take you visually through the most amazing journey. You can have sound on and turn the video off, and you can still, I mean, that's more music, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he combines those two things so well and creates such a story without really even needing a story. And, you know, he'll take a vacation and he'll make it into a story. And it's not even linear in the story. It's not like airplane out, land, here's the thing, airplane out, I'm home again. It's all over the place, but you still are taken through it. And that's really appealing, and I would love to spend a day on set with that guy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, shout out to both of them. Gary V, since he's, more so in the field that I dip in. I dip and dab, and I definitely study. I study Gary V. You know what I'm saying? And I look at where he came from. I look at the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Even just how his parents didn't even speak English when they came. You know what I'm saying? And how long it took for him to get where he is today, but how much pride he took in his journey. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm reading, I have his book on, the new book on Audible right now.
Okay.
He really wants to buy the New York Jets.
Yes, he does.
Every 5 sentences, I swear to God. And I really wanted to buy New York Jets, but I'm not there yet. And I'm like, Gary, I get it.
Yep.
But I love the guy.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Yeah, he talks about that all the time. He feels like, once he's able to buy them, then he's really going to be successful, And
that's why I think you should never buy them.
Yeah.
He needs to always have that
to have that
thing.
ammo. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's awesome.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I feel you. Yo, give us some feedback. Keep hitting the like button. Keep hitting the love button. I see you guys showing lots of love. Thank you guys for being so interactive with us. By the way, got one more question lined up for him. And that question is, what do you want the world to remember you as?
I want the world to remember me as somebody who inspired somebody else. I think, I don't know how deep this may or may not get or sound.
Go
but,
ahead.
Your purpose on life is to leave a legacy for your kin, essentially.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Uh-huh.
And I do eventually want to have children. I think that I want to leave them with whatever I've learned, and I think that my parents have done that to me to an extent. I think that there will never be a perfect parenting solution. There will never be a perfect mentoring solution because everybody's different. My parents' life was different from my life. My life would be different from my kids' life. And I just want to be able to teach them general skills that they can take. Like, I took 8 years to get to where I am now, but I didn't stop. I never gave up. I took my failures and I learned from them. And there are things that I can teach them that still will benefit them without giving them answers.
For sure.
But I want to be able to leave a blueprint that people can, basically, I don't want to say read off of literally, but can take and just say, this is what he did, this is where he came from, this is how he got to where he is. Because, even like when I do get questions on Twitter and stuff about photography, I don't like giving them the answer. I like giving them a direction that they can find their own answer. And that's what I want to leave with.
Yeah, that's dope. I like the way that you put that. You said the blueprint. That's what stuck out the most to me. And yeah, I think that's the key right there, because sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes as entrepreneurs, I feel like, especially when it comes to our kids, I am a mother.
Yeah.
So, especially when it comes to our kids, sometimes it feels like we need to keep our business separate from our family. But I don't believe in that. I mean, you can do it if you want to.
My parents were at the party last night. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And my whole thing is, you know what I'm saying? You want to teach your kids. Like my baby, he has his own YouTube. He wanted a YouTube.
Awesome. Yes.
He wanted a YouTube channel, so I got him a YouTube channel. The boy loves to draw and do all type. I'm telling you, by the time he turns 8, we'll probably be selling the stuff that he makes.
And you facilitate that, and that's what's awesome.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to show him the way. Of course, yes, I want to create a better lifestyle, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be or where I'm gonna be. But I want to create a better lifestyle for my son. You know what I'm saying? Not just so that he can reap off of that, but so that he can sow some seeds into his own future as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a major key, y'all. Glad thing, they're about to sing and we're done with the interview.
We got done at just the right time.
So, you know,
she's got a great voice.
It actually sounds good, you know, with what we're doing. Like, I don't know what she's singing about, but it sounds like she's singing about the victory, y'all. So keep going. You know this was to inspire you guys, man. Anybody out there trying to follow their dreams, keep doing what you're doing, man. Anybody out there hesitant, man, take a leap of faith, man. Just jump off the bridge. Just go for it, man. I'm telling you, if we can do it, you can do it. We're going to see y'all later. Shout out to everybody tuning in. I love y'all.
Thank you for coming, guys. Take care.
Peace.